Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you had a really great day trading today. So today was Tuesday, August 6th, and the stock market saw a nice rebound today after yesterday's sharp sell-off, and SPY did open with a small gap up. And when it pulled back right here, a little bit of that gap right there was left open. So we have a new bull gap right here, and we pushed up into the bear gap, so above yesterday's highs, up to the 35 EMA, all the way to the top of the implied move, and we got just a little bit outside of that. Top of the implied move was at 528, and we got just a little bit outside of that. The 4-hour 200 moving average was right there, and then we got pulled back down and saw a pretty decent drop at the end of the day. So at the top of the day, we were up a little bit over 2%, so we made that full implied move, and then off the top we dropped down 1.38%. So volatility definitely back. So we did end up closing underneath the 35 EMA, so it is still our resistance right here. We did follow through on yesterday's bullish cross in Stupid Willie, and once we hit overbought right here, we did pull back in to close within the implied move. So we did have this island top gap at the top of the trading range today, and we got right up to where the bull gap and the bear gap overlap, and that was our battle zone. We sold off, and now we just have the rest of this bear gap left. SPY did close up 0.92%. VIX closed down 28.16%. VIX got crushed today. We're back down at 27, which is my ideal happy VIX level. I like around 25. And we did close within the implied move today here. So welcome back volatility, and also welcome back volume. And taking it over to SPX, we did see the same thing over here with that gap up, and when we did pull back into it, we did leave a little bit open, and that gave us enough of a springboard to get up into the next level, which was this bear gap. And really it was an island top. We filled the part of the bear gap that's underneath the bull gap. We took it all the way to the top of the implied move. And you could see that once we got into that top of the implied move and into that gap, we did reach overbought. And we also tapped that 4-hour 200 moving average. And then from there, we pulled back into close. So SPX did close up 1.04%. VIX again down 28.16%. Huge move over here. And we did close within the implied move over here. And just note where we did bounce. It is the weekly 35 EMA. So make sure you at least pull up the weekly chart with the 35 EMA and just take a look at it there. It is a really strong support when it's bullish and resistance when we're bearish. And I'll go over that a little bit more in the second half of the video. So that was the S&P. Let's switch over to the Nasdaq QQQ. We did open over here with that same gap up, but over here we did come back in and close that gap right away. And then once that gap was closed, we did come back up. We did find support at that level, and we got back above the weekly 35 EMA right here and pushed up into the gap, the down gap from this week opening on Monday, and we got above the 35 EMA. We got above the top of the implied move by just a little wick right here. Top of the implied move was 446. As soon as we got to that level, we did reach overbought, and we pulled back down, got back underneath the 35 EMA and back underneath the weekly 35 EMA. That's a big level. It really does define our long-term up or down trends, and right now we are closing underneath that level. So we did make the full move to the top of the implied move, which was 2.37%, and then we pulled back off the top there and closed down from the top of the implied move 1.52%. QQQ did close up 0.96%, VXN down 16.81%, so volatility in the Nasdaq is at 29 right now, and we did close within the implied move today. We did follow through on that bullish cross up right here that we saw yesterday, and then once we reached overbought, we did pull back. So that was QQQ, and switching over to IWM. So in IWM, we also opened with a small gap up, and we did drop back down. We closed that gap right away, and that 35 EMA on the weekly time frame is right there. And I will zoom out in just a second to the weekly time frame and show this level, but we did bounce right there after we closed the gap. We got above the, I think this is the 4-hour 200 moving average. Yep, the 4-hour 200 moving average. We hit the 35 EMA on the 30-minute time frame. The top of the implied move was just above us, along with the 50-day moving average. So we did push into this down gap. We got above yesterday's highs, pushed into that down gap from yesterday, and closed it out about 2/3 of the way. And right at that 35 EMA, we did get pulled back down. And we also did close underneath the 4-hour 200 moving average. So all of this resistance ended up weighing on IWM, and we did get pulled back down and completely pushed out of that gap. So really quickly, let's go take that to the 5-year. This is the weekly time frame, and you could see that 35 EMA right here on the weekly time frame is right where we are at. So we are definitely at a battle to hold that level, and that is right here. Really big level and really fast before moving forward. SPX also closed right above and bounced on that weekly 35 EMA. I did want to show this, taking it over to that time frame. We are right here, and yesterday, after hitting that level and bouncing up, we did hold above the weekly 35 EMA again today, and you could see that it is a very strong support when we are bullish, and when we are bearish, it is a strong resistance level. So we are definitely at a critical point here. If we do start trading underneath it, then we will end up extending some of these losses, but it is possible that we do see a bounce here. Keep an eye on this level from time to time. It is a big one. And then let's get back to IWM really quickly. So 35 EMA on the 30-minute time frame pushed us back down, and we did close up 1.09%. The Russell Volatility Index fell 20.22%, and we did close completely within the implied move today. And if you were watching Stupid Willie today, as soon as we hit overbought right here, we did pull back down. And lastly, the Dow Jones, DIA. And hold on here, let's go back to IWM. I'm seeing something here that I know I didn't cover in IWM. So back to IWM really quickly. When we did get above yesterday's highs, we actually pushed into the island top gap. We had the green part, the bull gap side of the island top. We did fill that completely, and as soon as we filled that gap right here, we did actually drop. So that is why we fell just a little bit short of the implied move. The bull gap, as soon as we filled it, acted like a resistance, and we pulled back underneath the 4-hour 200 moving average. Okay, so now IWM analysis is complete. So back to DIA. We did open DIA here with a gap up, and then we pulled back down, filled the gap, and popped back up. So let me recenter this here, because our trading range was outside of the weekly implied move today. That's where it started. So when we gapped up, we actually pushed right back into the implied move. And from there, we came up to the 4-hour 200 moving average. We saw a little bit of resistance there, but came back up to the 30-minute 35 EMA. And right there, we got a little bit above it, but we got pulled back down, back underneath the 4-hour 200 moving average. And we did close about halfway up the trading range today. Here again, as soon as we saw overbought on Stupid Willie here, we pulled back, and the top of the trading range was actually right here at 393. We did get above that briefly and then pulled back down. 50-day moving average is the level we almost hit. We didn't quite hit it, but we did pull back right before that. So trading underneath the 50-day moving average is a bearish signal. Doesn't mean we can't get back above it, but for right now, we are getting rejected at the 50-day moving average. So DIA did close up 0.81%. And here also you could see this is the weekly 35 EMA, really big level. And we did see a bounce yesterday there. And then today we did push up off of that. Let's just really quickly take that to the weekly time frame. And you could see that a little bit more clearly if we zoom in. Hold on one second. So right here to the penny, that is a very long trend support. And we have been above that level since October lows. We got back above, and this is the first time we're testing that. And right now on the weekly time frame, Stupid Willie is showing favor to the bears here. However, we are above the 35 EMA, so that is bullish. So we are getting mixed signals on the weekly time frame. So the next few weeks are going to be very critical. So that was DIA. And let me really quickly zoom in and see if I missed anything. What time frame did I just accidentally click onto? This is the 2 hour. Let's get back to the 30-minute. And nope, it looks like I covered everything for DIA. We are back within the weekly implied move. So that was a recap of today. Let's go check out tomorrow's levels. Alright guys, so before we head into tomorrow's trading ranges, if you find these videos useful, if they help you to choose better strikes and take better trades, and if they help you to generally navigate the market a lot easier, then please make sure to give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. And if you're feeling wild today and you want to get me a cup of coffee, don't forget that thank you button. It's a really easy way to show support to my channel and to show appreciation for all the content that I do put out. And lastly, please leave me a comment if you have any questions at all. This is complicated stuff, and I don't mind explaining it in any number of ways so that you guys understand this. There's no such thing as a dumb question. And if you guys only heard the questions that I was asking when I started, you'd be like, wow. So definitely leave me a comment. Right, and I am actually going to end this video here. I was thinking about putting it all together, but I do need to take a break, and I'd rather get this content out to you guys first so you can go over what happened today, and then I will have tomorrow's trading ranges out really shortly. Make sure you have those notifications turned on, or set your alarm and come back an hour before market opens and review tomorrow's trading ranges. So have fun tomorrow, trade safe, make sure you take profits when you're up, and I'll see you guys in a couple hours.